Let's talk about one of the most universal feelings out there, that feeling of being completely, totally stuck. But what if the reason you feel stuck isn't actually what you think it is?
I mean, it's a question we all ask ourselves, right? We find ourselves in these situations, the same job, the same routine, and we know, deep down, they're not making us happy. But for some reason, we just stay. Why? What is actually holding us back?
Well, the story we usually tell ourselves is that we're just confused. I'm still figuring things out, or I just don't know what my purpose is yet. It feels like a pretty good reason, doesn't it? Like we're just patiently waiting for that lightning bolt of clarity.
But what if that's just a cover story? What if the real reason you're stuck has nothing to do with a lack of direction and everything to do with a surplus of fear? What if you're not lost at all? You're just scared. Realizing this, well, it changes the entire game.
So, let's dig into that illusion. How does this whole "I'm confused" narrative actually serve us? It turns out, feeling stuck can feel surprisingly safe.
See, confusion isn't just some foggy state of mind, it's a strategy. It's the perfect excuse, really. It lets you put off making those hard decisions and delay taking that first, terrifying step into something new.
And this gets to the heart of why we avoid clarity. Because if you suddenly knew exactly what you were supposed to do, poof, all the excuses vanish. And you're left with a responsibility to actually do it, to change, to grow. And honestly, that's way more daunting than just staying confused. This brings us right to the core conflict, doesn't it? It's this constant battle inside of us between the safety of what's comfortable and that deep, nagging need to actually grow. Just take a look at this. On one side, you've got comfort. It's the same old thing, the predictable, the routine. And our brains love that, even if it's making us miserable, because it feels safe. But on the other side, you have growth. It demands change, it's messy, it's uncertain, and yeah, it feels genuinely scary. But it's also the only path to becoming the person you're meant to be. And here's the part we tend to forget. That comfort you're clinging to, it isn't free. It has a price tag. And every single day you choose what's familiar, you're paying with your own potential. You're paying with the person you could have become. Okay, so if fear is the real roadblock, how in the world do we deal with it? Well, the answer isn't to get rid of it. The answer is to completely reframe it. What if fear isn't a stop sign at all? What if it's actually a compass, pointing you exactly where you need to go?
Let's just be real for a second. Let's play this out. You take the leap, you go for it, and you fail. I mean, a spectacular, faceplant kind of fail. What is the absolute worst, most realistic thing that happens next? When you really write it down, the answers are usually pretty minor, aren't they? A little embarrassment, maybe you lose some time, maybe some money, a few awkward conversations. But here's the key. All of this is temporary. It passes. It's just pain that eventually heals.
Now let's compare that to the alternative. Fear lives up in your head, it's mostly just imagination, and the pain it causes is temporary. But regret, regret is a different beast entirely. Regret lives in your heart. It's the devastatingly real and permanent pain of looking back and knowing you didn't even try.
I want you to really let that sink in. 10 years from now, the sting of some failure will be a distant memory, probably even a good story. But the ache of wondering what if, that's a pain that settles deep inside you and it just stays there. The risk of doing nothing is so much greater than the risk of doing something.
So here it is. This is the big mental shift. That feeling of fear you get when you think about making a change, that is not a warning sign to turn back. It's a signal from your own soul that you've just stumbled upon something incredibly important, something that truly deeply matters to you. Okay, so this is where we turn all this understanding into action. It's one thing to know fear is a compass, but how do you actually start walking in that direction? You don't need some giant leap of faith. All you need is one small, honest step. And here's a really practical way to do it. First, don't run from the fear. Just sit with it. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. Then, give it a name. Is it fear of judgment? Fear of failure? And once you've looked it right in the eye, you just take one tiny, manageable action in spite of it. So I'm going to leave you with this question to really chew on. Not what would change your whole life tomorrow, but what is the single, smallest thing you could do right now that the person you're becoming would look back on and say, thank you. That's where it all started. Because at the end of the day, that's really what courage is. It's not about being fearless. It's about being terrified and deciding to move forward anyway. It's about letting fear walk right there beside you and taking that one honest step.